boys and girls, it's Mrs. Spill again. Told you I can't stay away too long. And I brought a friend. This is our Wheatley whale. Look at him. He's so happy. And I want to go over the rest of our story with you. What is that, Mr. Whale? Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for the reminder. He's such a thoughtful whale. So nice and soft, too. Do you have something at home that's nice and soft for you to hug? Well, Mr. Whale just reminded me that Mrs. Spale has something very special for whoever is at home loving you and taking care of you right now. Mommy, daddy, nana, pop, pop, tia, tio, poppy, mommy, anybody who's at home, baba, mama, oh my goodness. Whoever's at home loving you and taking care of you right now, I know that I'm not teaching alone. And I have something a little special for you. So stay tuned for the end of the story, parents and caregivers. Thank you, Mr. Whale. And here's our story. Now, do you remember what happened before in this story? So who is our main character? Who is the story really about? Who? That's right. How could I forget? It's the little engine that could, right? So the main character in our story is the little engine, right? That means character is a person. It can be an animal, but it's who the story is mostly about, and that's the little engine. And then we have other characters in the story. Can anyone name just one character in the story for me? Who is someone else that we heard about in the story? Wow, that was days ago. You guys have a very good memory. Yeah, we had toy clowns. You're right. We had toy clowns. We had dolls. There were all sorts of fun things on the train too. And then there was someone else. So what happened to the little engine? Yeah, wasn't that sad? The little engine broke down. I know that, God forbid, if I, break down, then I have somebody to call. And I think that's what the engine was trying to do, the little engine that could. Who did they ask for help? My goodness, elephants never forget, and neither do preschoolers, because you, my dear ones, remembered. That's right. It was another big engine, and it was, do you remember the color? It's close to this color, but not quite. There's a little hint. What color is this? That's right. It was a red engine. But did the engine help? Sure didn't. Okay, well, let's see what happens next. So that mean old engine steamed around the roundhouse where engines live and they're not busy. How sad the little train and all the dolls and toys felt. Then the little clown called out, "The passenger engine is not the only engine in the world. Here is another one coming, a fine, big, strong one. Let's ask him for help." The little toy clown waved his little flag, and the big, strong engine came to a stop. What do you think this engine is going to do? I know, I'm hoping. I'm hoping so. I hope he doesn't do the same thing that the last engine did, right? Okay, we're going to see. "Please, oh please, big engine," cried all the dolls and toys together. "Do pull our train over the mountain." Can you do that? Over the mountain? Good. "Our engine has broken down, and the good little boys and the good little girls on the other side will have no toys to play with and no wholesome food to eat unless you help us." Here's that word again, but. But means the opposite, like. But the big strong engine bellowed. Bellow is when you say something like super loud, and it even almost sounds like an echo. So he wasn't even nice about it. He had an attitude. The big strong engine bellowed. I am a freight engine. I have just pulled a big train loaded with costly machines over the mountain. These machines print books and newspapers for grown-ups to read. I am very important. Indeed, I won't carry the likes of you. Wow. And the freight engine pulled off indignantly to the roundhouse. Indignant is like, with an attitude. Oh my goodness. Will she ever get any help? I don't know. The little train and all the dolls were very sad. Can you give me a sad face? You might even go like this. A sad face. Who do you think's gonna talk? Who usually talks? You remember, that's right, it's our cheerleader. Ooh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. It's the clown is the cheerleader. And the clown says, cheer up, cried the little toy clown. The freight engine is not the only engine in the world. Here comes another. He looks very old and tired. But our train's so little, perhaps he can help us. And that's where I'm going to leave it off for today. And we will see if perhaps the old and tired engine would help them. After all, the little engine that could is just a little engine. Oh, let's find out. We'll find out later on. But for right now, our whale reminded Mrs. Spale of something special that I have for our parents. And Mrs. Spale is, of course, not the first teacher to teach virtually. When I was a little girl, there was a man called Mr. Rogers. And he was very sweet. And he taught us on television. And he had a train set, too. The train would take you to the land of make-believe. It's really awesome. Actually, right now, boys and girls, you guys have another show that's based on the show that Mrs. Spale used to watch 100 years ago. And it's called Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. That's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. So our parents would remember that. So Mr. Rogers had wonderful, nice things to say. So every day I want to give you all a quote just to encourage you, because I'm so proud and I know how difficult that this is in the current time that we're living sometimes. And you're home with your special little one. And I just want to encourage you a little bit. So the quote for today is, some days doing the best we can may still fall short of what we would like to do, to be able to do, but life isn't perfect. On any front, and doing what we can with what we have is the most we should expect of ourselves or anyone else. So, parents, caregivers, those home loving my pumpkins right now, I want you to know that you're doing the best that you can, and you are amazing. And that's all that you can ask of yourself, is the best that you can. Thank you so much, boys and girls.